So hey everybody, look what's going on. My name is Terry. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys and gals have been doing well. And you know, I make it no secret that I am not a videographer. I'm not a filmmaker. I just happen to make YouTube videos about what I do in photography and anything I might happen to learn in DaVinci Resolve. I like to tell you guys and gals out there in the land of YouTube about it. So today we're going to be talking about something in Resolve that I didn't know about, but apparently it's been a thing for about a year or so now. And if you're in the dark like I was, you might not know about it. And that is color space transform tools. They are incredible. Essentially what it does is that it allows you to take the color space your camera shoots in and convert it on the fly into something else that's more recognizable for, like a phone screen, a computer screen, or a TV. Now, there are different settings within this, and we're going to go over them a little bit. But again, though, keep in mind, folks, again, I am not a colorist. I am not a professional. I just read stuff and then relay that information back to you all out there, okay? So with that being said, let's just jump into Resolve and we can see if we can get this here working. Alrighty here, folks. Again, wonderful freeze frame, Terry. Good job. So all this stuff here should look familiar. This is shot with my A7 IV from Sony in SLOG3. So the way that I learned to do this is you want to go ahead and make two different serial nodes here, okay? You can either right click and hit add node, serial node, or I always just use Alt S for serial. What you want to do here is that instead of color grading on the actual color space transform node directly, you want to do it before that. So like in the middle. So if I go back here to Resolve, I'm going to keep this one here ungraded, untouched, okay? This is going to be my base node. This is going to be my correction node. And then this here is going to be my actual color space transform node. And then of course you can also do way more nodes in here if you need, like, different looks or different kind of corrections, but just for this tutorial here, I'm going to keep it nice and simple and just have one node right here in the middle. So how do you actually add the whole color space transform node? It's not a problem at all, folks. All you do is this here. If this effects library is not here, just click on the effects toggle right here. It should pop up for you. I'm going to just scroll down right here, color space transform, okay? So if you shoot an SLOG3, these are the settings you would want to use here, okay? For input color space, you want to go ahead and scroll down right here to Sony S-Gamut 3 Cine. Then for the input gamma, you want to go ahead and scroll down and you want to say Sony S-Log3. Then for output color space, you want to go ahead and use Rec 709. And then for output gamma, you want to use Gamma 2.4. And you might have noticed here that there's Gamma 2.2, 2.5, 2.6. From what I was reading and from what I'm, learning here as we go along and learn this stuff together, those other Gamma formats are essentially the type of environment that your viewer is going to be watching the video in. So I believe Gamma 2.6 is what they call a black box environment, to where you're essentially watching a video inside of a home theater or at an actual theater. Like that's what movies are graded in, is Gamma 2.4, or I'm sorry, Gamma 2.6. But for your general video, like HD video, you want the output to be output color space Rec 709 and output gamma as Gamma 2.4, just because it's like the industry standard for how stuff should look, So after that, as you can see, it looks pretty darn good by itself, okay? Like it does look pretty good, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to the actual correction node I made, and I'm going to go ahead and give this my settings. So all I do for my SLOG3 footage is I go ahead and increase the saturation from 50 to 70, and that's literally all I do for my videos. Now, if I have my background lights on here, I might bring down the highlights a little bit if it's, clipping back there. But as far as a general edit, that's what I do, and that's all I actually will do to this footage. This here is 10-bit 422, and so I think it looks pretty good. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, why would I put the color space transform node at the very end of the node tree instead of at the very beginning? Well, from what I've been reading and from the videos I've been watching from way more qualified people here on YouTube that do this stuff for a living, apparently you can go ahead and do that if you want, but it's primarily used for whenever you're in a mixed camera environment. Like let's say you're shooting Sony, your friend's shooting Canon, or if you're on a big production crew and you're shooting with, like, Reds and Aries, they shoot color differently, obviously, you know. So you can put the color space transform node at the very beginning and, you know, kind of convert it to an intermediate color space, like, you know, DaVinci Resolve wide gamut. And then that way there, you can grade them separately, but it'll look a lot more similar at the end whenever you go to export stuff, if that makes sense. So yeah, you know, this is actually a lot of fun. Like I cannot stress this point enough, which is why I always say it. I am not a professional filmmaker. I am not a colorist by any means. I just do this kind of stuff for a hobby, but I am trying to get more into it, especially so I can start shooting weddings this summer. You know what I mean? And just all this color work and everything, I think it's fascinating to learn. I think it is so cool, and it's just fun to go on this journey with you guys and gals, you know? So yeah, if you want to see more content like this here on the channel, do me a huge favor, get this video liked, get subscribed. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, folks, happy shooting, and I'll catch you all next time.